Welcome back, guys. While the Ultimate Admiral beta is in a pretty unplayable state, I've decided to come back and replay Ultimate General instead. So, I haven't played this game for quite a while, and I wasn't exactly the best player in the world at it to begin with, but it should be fun to just pick up and have another blast at it. So I think I'm going to go with the Union first. It's the easier campaign, break myself in a bit more gently, but I am going to be playing it on the hardest difficulty setting. Okay, now the major issue with this game is not knowing how long each of the battles goes on for and what the win or the loss conditions are for each battle. That's the major issue. So I have got a bit of a guide that I'm going to be referring to hopefully stop myself from falling into any traps of losing prematurely because I didn't know what was going on. I just need to see if I can locate that guide. Okay, so it looks like we need to take the town in the time. Oh, there is no time, sorry. So we need to take the town, then we need to not let the town get captured. So we can let it get contested, but we can't let the timer count down. Then, once we've passed the second stage, I think there's a third stage where we need to... well, I'm not sure actually. The guide isn't exactly perfect. Capture Philippi. Hold the town. Yeah, we'll find out. I might have to replay the mission a couple of times if I make any mistakes. So if you've never played this game before, it's incredibly good. Really, really good system in my opinion for leveling up your troops and keeping them in tip-top condition, equipped, and it's one of the best games I've ever played in my opinion. But it's incredibly unforgiving. Let's see if I can sneak around. Don't know if this is going to work or not. I want to try and get this guy cornered down here if I can. So if we can get him cornered down here, finish him off. work, unfortunately. We might be able to force him back this way now. Although this guy got exhausted really quickly. Not quite sure how that happened. Okay, so we've managed to get him cornered down this side now, so that's good. So what I'm going to be doing once I take the town is retreat back across the bridge for a short while. It's quite difficult to hold the town against all the onslaught. So if you fight across the bridge instead, you get a lot more damage inflicted on the enemy. But we need to remember we can't let the timer count down to 0. So we're going to have to run back across the bridge in time. So yeah, that's going to be the challenge in this mission. Looks like we've managed to get this skirmisher unit isolated. It is only one unit that we're wiping out, but every little helps. We've actually managed to capture him, so I think, I'm not 100% sure, I haven't really played this game or delved deep into the mechanics of this game properly to know what this provides, but I think it gives you the manpower and the equipment that they've got equipped. So I think you get 122 of these rifles, but again, I don't actually know if that's the case or not. Right, so it's going to take a while for him to, or all 3 of them to catch back up. But in the meantime, let's start working on this guy on the bridge. guy's actually coming in for a flank. It's caught me off guard. So I'm going to have to run him back across again. Protect the cannons. That wasn't very good. It's a bit annoying how the cavalry doesn't turn properly when you click an attack order. But we might have an opportunity here to isolate this unit. No, he's running back across the bridge, unfortunately. But we've done a significant amount of damage to him. So, because this guy's exhausted, he's going to take a very long time to catch up. So at the moment we're just trying to do as much damage as we can. Run the timer down a little bit, just try and weaken them ready for the attack across the bridge. Done a fair few hundred kills. I don't think we've taken too many losses. So we're just going to see if we can get him to come in, take the bridge again, do a little bit more damage to him before we cross. now might be a good time to see if we can get across, seeing as both of these units are quite low on morale. So I'm going to use a little trick with using the commander as a bit of a decoy to absorb the first volley. I know there are mods to this game where if you lose your commander, he does actually die. But I'm not using them mods, so I can use the commander as a bit of bait. So we're going to go in for a bit of a melee attack now. So we can dish out a bit of punishment to them. Need to get rid of this cannon if we can. Okay, we've done a pretty decent job so far. Done some significant damage to them. I think we probably could have run the time down a little bit, but I'm quite happy with how it's gone so far. Well, the plan was let them retake the town, so I've got a little bit more time to try and kill this unit that I've forced across the bridge, but I think the time is going to count down. Yep. Okay, so now this is the tricky bit. We need to try and come back across the bridge. Use the bridge as a bit of a killing field. But then the tricky part is getting back across the bridge to retake the town before the timer runs out. I might have to leave a unit behind to protect this cannon, so I might just mount up the horses and use this as a rear guard just for the time being while this cannon's trying to make his way across. Okay, I think we're safe now, successfully across the bridge. And we've got some reinforcements coming in. So I'm going to see if I can do a similar thing on this side of the bridge with the reinforcements. See what we've got. Looks like we've got 3 infantry units and a cannon. Is that 2 cannon? It is. Okay, so they're taking a short while to actually retake the town. So I've got 2 hours worth of whittling them down before I have to run back across and retake the town. As you can see, we're doing quite significant damage as they try and cross the bridge. Oops, exposed my rear. Still got his rear flanked for some reason, God knows why. So I think everything's going pretty smoothly so far. See if I can try and flank this unit. Don't know if I'll be able to get a flanking angle over here, but we can try it. It's going to be close. Yep, we managed it, so looks like we might be able to do a similar thing on this side of the bridge if he keeps returning. Okay, we've got an hour and 23 minutes left. So I don't know how long it's going to take to actually run across the bridge and take this, so I am getting a bit tense, thinking it might be a good idea to start making my way across now. I think most of their units are pretty low on morale, so they should break quite easily. So I think that's what we're going to do, run the commander across first. Get everyone else in there. And then do the same thing on this side. Just going to use the commander to try and turn the attention away from the crossing units on the bridge. Seems to have worked quite well. Okay, so we've lost the commander now, but I think he's done his job. Probably could have brought these cannons a bit closer. Might not be a bad idea. So the reason that I break off the skirmishes is just to, you get an advantage in combat if you've got more units against them in hand-to-hand combat. So although it's technically the same unit because it's just the skirmishes of the same unit, it counts as a 2-to-1 advantage. Looking quite tense. All we need to do is try and take this town. The losses that we take are not vitally important in this battle. I don't think you keep these units, or at least you don't keep most of them. So now that we've dislodged this guy, we should be able to come in and take the town now. So we've retaken the town. Now we just need to hold on to it for 20 minutes and then that should be victory. So it's not clean, it's a difficult mission, this first one is, which is rather amusing for a first mission of the campaign. But we are on the max difficulty setting, so okay, we managed to force him out now. Ooh, this could be intense though. Got this one routed, so that's good. We've got 7 minutes to hold on, so we've got another one coming in here. See if we can slow him down with some skirmishes. And I think we're safe. 4 minutes to go. I think we're safe anyway. tense battle. There we go. We can carry on if we want, but it's a little bit risky. Like here, if we end up losing the town, then obviously we'll have to replay the entire mission. Let's see if we can get these cannons across. So finishing a mission off like this, just doing a little bit of extra damage, is not completely vital, especially this early on in the game. But you do get a few extra guns, and you do reduce the enemy damage slightly. Enemy manpower, I should say. Army strength, whatever you want to call it. Well, I think we've pushed our luck far enough now. So, let's call it a day. 4,300 infantry casualties to that, or inflicted against them. Only 2,600 taken, so we got like 2,000 more casualties than they did, or inflicted 2,000 more. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so I should have really brushed up on what I need, but basically you need army organisation to field the most amount of units. If this is the first time you've seen this game, you select missions on here, and then the missions that you select give you a certain amount of brigades that you can take into each battle. So you need army organisation to be able to field certain amounts of brigades. So at the moment we've got 4 in this division, and this is locked. And then I think we can take a second division. So if we open up this, then we can take a second division. But we haven't got any more, so we can take maximum 8 at the moment. Oh, it looks like this is locked. So we can take maximum 6 at the moment, not 8. So, if we have a look at this mission... Excuse me. If we have a look at this mission, 8. So we're going to need army organisation just for this first battle. And then the other one was 10, I believe. So we're going to need at least 1, possibly 2 points of put into army organisation to be able to field the most amount of units. So politics gives you money and manpower. Economy makes buying and selling cheaper, I think. Is that correct? Yeah, buying and selling weapons. Medicine gives you a certain amount of manpower from casualties returned after a battle. Training makes keeping your men trained up cheaper. Army organisation is what I've just mentioned, where you need a certain amount to field a certain amount of units. Logistics is the amount of ammo that each unit carries in battle. Reconnaissance, I barely mess with it, to be honest with you. I think with reconnaissance, you can see on this screen how many men the enemy have got up here. Now, I've never gone higher than 2 points in reconnaissance, because you don't get enough points to actually max everything out. So I think 2's the highest I've ever gone, so I always just ignore reconnaissance. So we're going to go into army organisation. Let's see what it puts up. Max brigades 4. So that means we're going to have enough max brigades for this next mission. And then on the next point we're going to have max divisions too, so we'll be able to field the maximum amount for both missions if I put the next point that I get into army organisation again. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to need for this. Let me have a quick look at what the battle map looks like. Right, I remember this mission. It's quite a tough one. It's you've got to keep hold of one of these. There's 2 camps. You've got to keep hold of one of them so the mission doesn't end, and then you've got to take the second one before the timer runs out. So it's quite a defensive mission, this first one. Let's see what we've got. We've got 6-pounders, 10-pounder ordnance, and then a couple of terrible rifles on these. Are they muskets? Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to take? Let's have a little look in the armory. So we could buy some parrots and ordnance. We haven't got that much money though. Yeah, we're not going to be able to afford both of them. I might be able to afford one of them though. So I'm not going to be using cavalry, or at least not the mounted infantry cavalry. If anything, I'll use the sword cavalry. I like the melee cavalry. I'm not a massive fan of the mounted shooting cavalry. So I'll sell these guns. So I've got a little bit of extra cash. I think I want to keep everything as cheap as possible. So I won't buy the artillery quite yet. I'll field as many units as I can, I reckon. So I can put one more. I've already got 1 6-pounder in the armory, so I'll field him. You got to make sure that you top up your recruits for these cannon. Unfortunately, it doesn't automatically do this for you, so you can sometimes have lost 24. You get 1 cannon per 24 soldiers. You can enter a battle with 24 losses, lose 1 man, and lose a cannon for it. So you've always got to make sure that you top up your recruits on your cannons before entering a battle. Okay. So I think we're just going to stick with these basic muskets for now. We could try and buy some Lorenz, but they're very expensive, almost twice as expensive. So I reckon that's what we're going to do. We're just going to... Okay, so it goes up to 1,500. Particularly, it's better to have multiple smaller units than one big unit, because each unit has its own morale and condition. So if you take 2 half-size units, you basically have twice as much morale and condition as you would do if you took one twice as large unit. So we've got 3,100 troops, it looks like, so let me have a think. If I right, I'm just gonna quickly, so I don't have to bother using maths. I'm just gonna quickly save game, and if I cock the maths up, then I'll reload again. So basically, I want to equip this with parrots. Because we haven't got that many recruits, we're not going to be able to field loads of rifles. We've only got 3,000 recruits, so I may as well take some parrots in with me. Then with this one, I can add in the... these are ordnance. Right, got you. Thought they were 6-pounders. So I can actually recruit or reassign this division that I've just disbanded, this 6-pounder division. It's not a Howie, but it'll be easier for me to remember what it is if I call it a Howie. So I just named the units what they are, rather than have the proper names. Just makes it easy for me in battle to identify them. Okay, so if I was going to buy... Right, let's put that up to 12. So 175 troops. So we've got 2,800 practically. So let's buy 2,800 of these. See how much money we have left over. We don't even have enough money for all of them. Right, okay. Fair enough. So we could sell them 6-pounders maybe. Because they're terrible guns. So I think I might do that. So yeah, let's disband this again. Sell these. Oh, I've actually got too many guns now. I didn't realise I had some in the armoury. Oh well, it's not a big deal. And then with the money that I have left over, I'll buy a few ordnance cannons. Okay. So we've got 3,000. It is 175 on it, so 2,900, 3,300 practically, 3,400. So 1,100 for each division. I think I'm going to make them around about. So this is pretty much half of the fun of the game. The equipping out all of your divisions. In my opinion, anyway. Right, before I do that one, okay, so we can afford one more. Better than nothing. 200 more troops, so put another 50 or so into, 100, sorry, into each one.
Form line.
Right, sorted. We've used up all of our manpower. We've used up pretty much all of our cash. We can put the rest into supply. So we've got the most amount of troops that we can take. So that's nice. I might put both cannons on this one and then have the infantry in the 2nd Division. And then I believe we are ready to start the mission. Okay, so I'll call it an end to this episode. I'll just do one battle per video, and then the way I'll do it is I'll do the mission first, the battle itself first, and then after the battle I'll do the camp setup, just so you start the actual video with fighting rather than sitting through camp setup first. And then if the video goes on for an incredibly long time, which some of these missions do, I might do the camp setup in a separate video. So, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next mission. Take care, guys. See you soon.